Then I went again.
Well, he said that,
Spiritual dimension.
How precious and how
I'm important in the world.
became a family.
Everyone else was astonished.
Rabbi Israel Haber is a decorated former U.S. Air Force chaplain. During the 1970s, he was stationed at Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska, where he oversaw the construction of a mikveh. In 1980, he had an audience with the Rebbe.
The Rebbe asked that I should go make a visit to Alaska. Now, I was very surprised because I was not in Alaska since 1976, and then 2 years we were in Northern California, Travis Air Force Base, near Fairfield, California, until 1978, and then we lived in Tiberia now until 1980, and here the Rebbe is asking me to make a visit to Alaska. I said to the Rebbe, what would be the reason? The Rebbe says, I would wish you go to Alaska, afilu l'shah echos, even for 1 hour. And we went out with that information, immediately leaving the Rebbe's office. That was Thursday afternoon, and I would be going Friday morning. Because it's the summertime, I would be going with the sun as far as the daylight would be concerned, and the day is very long in Alaska, so I would have no problem traveling and getting there way before Shabbos begins. When I began flying to Alaska, I let a few people know in Alaska that I would be coming. I hadn't been there for 4 years. And I arrive Erev Shabbos, and I stay by the home of Debbie and David Grashin, Debbie Green, Grashin, staying at their home for Shabbos. Before Shabbos, of course, we went to the base. I looked at the mikveh, I checked the mikveh, things were working well. There was a person in charge of the mikveh who had the key, and the women knew about the mikveh, they were using it. We had a minyan and everything like this, and everything was fine. But I didn't think I was doing anything out of the ordinary. And Shabbos went, I saw the people, we davened together, I made a speech, we farbrenged together, everything was very nice. And my flight back to New York is Sunday afternoon, Sunday late afternoon. And again, I go out to the mikveh to see Sunday morning what's doing with the mikveh, meeting with the people that used to know me over there, and I used to know them. Okay, it was very nice, whatever. Right before mincha, in the living room of one of the prominent families living there, we had a minyan, and we davened mincha. And after mincha, we all sat down in a circle. We were all talking. All of a sudden, we hear two people knock on the door, and we say, "Come in." And they say, "Wow, the whole Jewish community seems to be sitting in this living room." We asked, "Who are you?" And they said, "We're two Jewish lawyers from Philadelphia. We were sent here to Alaska to work with the Eskimos regarding the oil pipeline, and we're in Avelis. We're in mourning for our mother. We would like to have the opportunity to say Kaddish from time to time." And we said, "Well, you're certainly invited to stay here now, and by Mariv you'll say Kaddish." And I started saying to myself, maybe there should be a continuation. And I started asking the people, do you think it would be possible maybe that if I send all of you Sidurim and Machzorim, that we could organize maybe from this living room that at least every Shabbos, every Friday night in Shabbos, there could be a minyan here, and people could say Kaddish, and people could daven here, and we'll have a Sefer Torah come in here. And the people said, yeah, okay, it's okay with us, we could do that. And just as we said we could do that, and everything will be okay with that, somebody says to me, "Rabbi Haber, your plane is going to be in 1 hour from now. You have to leave. It's 1 hour now to the plane." And I got we davened Mariv, and we left. I said, "It's okay, so we're going to have, I'll send, right when I get back to New York, I'll make sure you get packages of prayer books, of Sidurim, Chamoshim, and you'll have a minyan here every Shabbos." "Yes, okay, no problem." And the guy raced me to the plane. They opened up the door. In those days, we didn't have all the security, and the plane waited for me, and I ran onto the plane. And as I sat down on the plane going back to Seattle and then on to New York, I said, "Wow, what happened just here?" And I started saying, the Rebbe said, "Afilu l'shah echos." Nothing was really happening the whole weekend. And in the last hour, something happened here, something took place. And I wrote this to the Rebbe in a letter the next day before leaving back to Eretz Yisrael. By the way, it turned out in history that this minyan became the kesher, the chut, the string, from the time I left Alaska until the time the shliach came permanently to live in Alaska. That was the minyan that took place, all coming together, afilu l'shal echos. So I get back to 770 Monday morning. A lot of people are in front of the building. And then we notice coming up to the curb, the Rebbe's car. The car is bringing the Rebbe to the curb. And the Rebbe gets out. And in a second, all of those people that were standing around me vanished. They all hid behind the building, hid behind the bushes. And the only guy that's standing by himself in the middle of the entrance to 770 is me. And as the Rebbe sees me, he goes past me. The Rebbe gives me a salute to the chaplain, to the Air Force, and goes in with a smile on his face.